Hello from Disney's Hollywood Studios, where we're about to take an adventure off-planet, traveling to Batuu, also known as Black Spire Outpost, or as you probably call it, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We're going to look at all of the different options in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, from some of the food to the rides to some of the shopping. We're going to walk all over the planet, and I'm going to give you everything I can possibly think to show you for this vlog. However, I'm doing this to kind of preview an upcoming podcast we have, Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. On the 25th of August, we'll be talking about ways that Walt Disney World could incorporate more Star Wars into the theme parks as a way to compete with the upcoming theme park Epic Universe coming to Universal Orlando Resort. I will be joined by Marissa from Chicago for that conversation that you can hear on August 25th on Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. Make sure to like and subscribe, and now let's head to Batuu. From a previous episode of the podcast, my co-host Marissa discusses her first glimpses of Batuu.
Gosh, so I first saw it a few months after it opened. I was there in October of 2019, and I just remember being absolutely in awe, I think is the best way to describe it. Just walking in for the first time and looking around and seeing this world come to life, and then hearing the, planes going overhead, and just every little detail was so precise. I remember looking around, and I was there with my mom, who's a huge Star Wars fan. She's the one who introduced me to it. She's the big Star Wars nerd. And she was just like getting teary-eyed looking around at it, because this was her world that she stepped into.
My other co-host, Sarah Says, got to experience Galaxy's Edge for the first time last year at Disneyland.
I thought it was amazing. It was really a really cool experience, and I am so excited to share that experience with my family when we go back. Yeah, we spent a lot of time there too throughout the whole stay, and it was like seeing something new every time you see something new. And it was a maze, though, I'm not gonna lie. I got lost at one point when I went back by myself to get some pictures taken in front of the Millennium Falcon, and I was like, I don't know where I'm at. But it was wonderful, and I cannot wait to go back.
So I made a dining reservation at Oga's Cantina today. Now when I say a dining reservation, that's not really what I mean, because there are very, very limited food options. We're gonna get some food a little later in this video, but this is the bar in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Very popular, used to be almost impossible to get a reservation. It has since gotten a little bit easier, but definitely the smaller your party, the more likely you are to get an Oga's reservation. So come in with me and we will enjoy the atmosphere. My good friend Jillian was on an episode of the podcast last year around this time, and she gave her thoughts on the specialty alcoholic drink at Oga's known as a Bespin Fizz.
Yeah, I've had it several times. I think as tasty as it is, it's also very Instagrammable. It's also very, good for the social media pics and everything with the glitter in it. And with the dry ice in the bottom, that makes the glitter, swirl around by itself and everything. So the drink is always moving. It's animated. So I think they did that on purpose. But it's like I said, it's very Instagrammable. But it is also an enjoyable drink.
Sarah Says also tried some alcoholic drinks when she visited the West Coast version of Oga's.
So I got the Outer Rim and the Bloody Rancor, which are very different drinks. The Outer Rim was like a kind of fruit liquors and things like that. It had this weird fruit puree on the top that was a little interesting. The drink itself was really good, really tasty, very fruity. The stuff on the top, it was okay. I really liked the Bloody Rancor, though. If you're a fan of Bloody Marys, it is very much like a pretty spicy Bloody Mary, and it came with a little bone on the top that was made out of like a lime meringue. So both of those, I was very pleased, but I was more pleased with my second drink.
All right, I'm at a very loud Oga's Cantina in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's a bar, it's a party atmosphere. This is what you expect from this type of experience at Disney. I am trying 2 of the non-alcoholic drinks. I have the Blurg Fire and the Black Spire Brew. So right here in my hand, we have the Blurg Fire. It has Minute Maid Premium Lemonade, pomegranate juice, and here on the rim, habanero lime. This is $7, and we're going to give it a taste and get some of that habanero. The spiciness of the habanero and the sweetness of the rest of the drink is really, really good. I've had this before and I really, really like it, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to try it here for you again, and I certainly was not disappointed. So we're going to move on now to the Black Spire Brew, which is cold brewed Joffrey's coffee, honey, falernum, passion fruit, and citrus. This is also $7. I just want to make a note in case you weren't paying attention. There is honey in this, so if you are a vegan, you are going to want to stay away from this one. So this is the Black Spire Brew right here, and let's give it a shot. Yep, fantastic. You get the taste of the coffee, but it's not a coffee drink. The passion fruit, the citrus, the honey, all of that combines and makes it just a little sweeter than you would expect.
Like me, Marissa doesn't drink alcohol, but even she dug the atmosphere.
If you do get the reservation, because it's a hard reservation to get, don't rush in and out. Set aside the time to experience it, to enjoy it. Don't rush yourself through saying, okay, 20 minutes to drink this, and then we've got to head back over to get on Smugglers Run. Know that you're setting aside this time to get the full experience, because otherwise you're going to walk away going, okay, so I got a drink. What's the big deal? It was so much cooler than I thought it would be. I didn't get to it until last year, so it had been open for a while. People had been raving about it, but it was just somehow never super high on my list of priorities. I don't drink, so that's probably part of it, so that kind of limits the menu. But I finally went with my cousin last year, and it was so incredible just stepping in there and looking around, and you really feel like you're in this cantina, and you've got, you know, little aliens in these jars and cases and bubbling liquids and everything. And it's just such a cool, futuristic, but rustic environment.
One down, 2,049 to go. I actually met this next band when I shuttled them to their gig on Canto Bike. Strap in for turbulence.
I loved it. The ambiance is awesome. There's so much fun stuff to look at. The drinks were really good. I don't know if you'd call her a waitress or a bartender, but she was awesome. And yeah, the whole thing was really fun.
All right, I am getting in the queue for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance with it listed at a 105-minute wait. But we will certainly test that. And we'll see how long it actually takes for me to get from right here in the queue until I'm in the hologram room in Rise of the Resistance. We have been in the Rise of the Resistance queue for over an hour and 10 minutes, and they just made an announcement. Nobody in this room could hear it, but I'm sure that probably means that the ride is down temporarily, or they were just apologizing that the queue is going to be longer than had been stated. So a bunch of us are just sitting on these makeshift benches and waiting for Rise of the Resistance. This is one of the things that can happen when you try to do everything at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in the same day. You have to budget for a lot of time waiting in line unless you can get one of those individual lightning lanes for the queue. So we'll see what happens here. So the good news is we are moving again, so that's pretty exciting. Have the map behind us. So we have been waiting now. I'm going to pull out my phone here. Let's see. An hour 41 minutes. The quoted wait time was an hour 45. I don't think we're going to make it. So, that's okay. This is the kind of thing you have to be prepared to experience when you are visiting Disney's Hollywood Studios. Somebody in the queue just ahead of me said that they looked it up on their phone and it experiences 3.6 breakdowns per day. So just keep that in mind. At least we're moving now.
My wife Courtney really helped Sarah get the most out of her first ride of Rise of the Resistance.
So the first thing, I am so grateful for Rick and Courtney. And Courtney walked me through what was happening because I was so in awe. I'm just standing there like a fish with my mouth open, staring at all the detail and the amazing journey you have from the beginning to end of Rise of the Resistance. So Courtney was kind enough to walk me through what was going on. But it literally is, I did not realize how immersive it is, how it's fun. It was one of the, like everyone says, it's one of the greatest like rides I have ever been on. It's not a roller coaster, it doesn't flip me upside down, but you know what? It was literally one of the greatest rides that I've ever ridden.
So there we are, about 3 hours of waiting time.
Incoming transmission from Ray. BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Should we be in flight prep? Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batu is no longer safe. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara. I'll regroup with you there. The Resistance desperately needs your help in our fight against Kylo Ren and the First Order. Remember, it is vital that you keep the location of the Pucara base secret. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you.
Engage repulsors and hold on, recruits. All ships, launch. Black Leader, we're picking up an unusual signal. Are you spotting anything?
Yeah, I see it. We'll check it out. Give me in. What do you got?
There appear to be a number of small craft heading our way. Raise the shields.
We got a company. First Order TIE fighters. Reroute. Reroute. Too close one. We're going to clear a path so transport can make a jump. They're all over us. I'm hit.
We lost Red 2. More incoming. Blue 5 taking evasive action.
Try to shake it, Blue.
I'm trying, but...
We lost Blue 5. I'm going to try to cut them away.
Copy that. Get us clear so we can make the jump.
Be ready. You won't have much time.
I was lucky enough to ride Rise of the Resistance on opening day, December 5th, 2019. Since then, I've had so much fun watching friends get to experience it for the first time themselves. Well, when Marissa rode it for the first time, she got to be the entertainment for her cousin.
You know, my cousin had ridden it a couple times at this point, and so she basically spent the whole ride watching me. And we got off and she's like, oh my gosh, I wish you could have seen your face, just how impressed you looked at everything. She's like, your jaw was dropped the whole time. It's like, yes, it was. It was just amazing, beyond amazing.
2-5 to the right, this line here all the way down. Stay there, 4. Now that's 10, middle switch up, 8, 2.
We will soon snuff out your meager resistance. You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay. The resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We are needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
You're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, go to the prison.
Cover's blown. Find an alternate route. Who picked these two droids anyway?
Detention coverage. Prisoners not seen on level D.
There they are. Fire. If anyone's touching a blaster, now's a good time. The escape pods, they're floors. Wait, why are you going up? I said down. Up is bad. Up is real bad.
nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. Your efforts are wasted. You cannot escape me. Your precious resistance is about to be destroyed.
Okay, you're clear. Your escape pods came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck.
Here is some of the merch in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You can get these flight helmets, and they are $79.99. So it took about 3 hours in the queue until I was able to ride Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Here is the X-Wing on Batuu, where you can get some photo pass pictures. May come back and do this later, but right now there's a lot I want to rush to get done here before I leave. So it took about 3 hours in the queue for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Always a great ride. It probably actually is worth it if you're only on your vacation and you don't have the ability to skip it and ride it again in a few months or even a few years. 3 hours is not that bad of a wait for the best theme park ride I've ever ridden. It's not my favorite. My favorite's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, but it is the best. I can admit that. What I want to do is try to hop in the single rider line for Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. See if I can get that in fairly quickly. I'm going to miss the Hondo animatronic if I do single rider line, but I do have some video of the Hondo animatronic, so I might just splice that into the video. It's time to head over to the Falcon. Making a quick stop on the way to Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, and you'll see this wreckage here in the version at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Basically, it is in the walkway leading out to Toy Story Land. This wreckage, according to the story of Batuu of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, is a crashed ship from Rex, who is the DJ at Oga's Cantina. Of course, anybody who remembers the old version of Star Tours, Rex was your pilot. So essentially what happened is Rex crashed here on Batuu. Instead of returning to be a Star Tours pilot, he stayed on this planet and became a DJ at Oga's Cantina. It turns out there's just way too much to do at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disney's Hollywood Studios for me to ever confine it to just one vlog. It was probably a fool's errand for me to even try. That's why tomorrow I'll have a brand new video from Galaxy's Edge where we're going to ride the Millennium Falcon, eat at some restaurants. We are going to check out some of the shops, and I'm even going to take you off planet. We're going to leave Batuu, leave Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, go to other parts of Disney's Hollywood Studios where they also have some Star Wars offerings. That's going to lead really nicely into some upcoming episodes of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. On August 25th and September 1st, Marissa from Chicago and I are going to discuss different ways Walt Disney World could incorporate more Star Wars into the theme parks. We think this is important for Disney because they're about to get some really, really tough competition from east on I-4 from Universal Orlando Resort. Universal is building the brand new theme park, Epic Universe, and that is gonna really, really send a return volley to Disney that they are gonna have to react to that. Marissa and I think the only thing Disney can do without obtaining the Marvel rights for the East Coast, that's a whole different conversation, is to bring more Star Wars into Walt Disney World. August 25th and September 1st, you're gonna want to listen to those episodes of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty, but you're also gonna want to listen this Thursday, August 18th, because Marissa and I are going to be talking about some of the rumors about Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort. A lot of great stuff coming up on the Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty page, so please like and subscribe so you always find out what we're doing here. Of course, quickly before I go, a lot of you know that I walked Ireland's National Famine Way back in June as a way to raise money and awareness in the fight against domestic violence, specifically for CASA of Pinellas County, Florida. I'm asking that you please donate today $9 to CASA of Pinellas County at casapinellas.org/walkwithrick/ That's CASAPINELLAS.org/walkwithrick/. Why am I asking for $9? This is a vlog about Star Wars, and I am looking for $1 from each video in the Skywalker saga. If you want to show some love to Rogue One and to Solo, why don't you make it $11? casapinellas.org/walkwithrick/. We have a new episode of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty coming up on Thursday. Another video from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.